Um, this video is just for me to talk talk myself through things that I was gonna write down for the course. So, I don't need to explain all the things. I'm gonna put you in front of me. Put me in front of me. Anyway, alright. So, I've created a course, and the first course, I suppose, is going to be in emotional awareness. There's a separate course that I want to do, which is also about energetic awareness. And in writing that course, I will learn more about it, where I don't have all of the strengths, because this is where I got all this information from anyway. I channeled it in the first place. So I'm going to gain more data as I channel. The emotional, so all of the information I channeled for the emotional awareness course initially, years ago, that was all right at the very, very beginning of me even knowing that I could channel anything. It's been years since then. Technically, this should be way easier than it would have been before. And I have less responsibilities in the outside world. So, yeah. They're saying, don't worry so much about the structure, in regards to my own, like, self-care stuff. They're saying, set up the structure, don't worry about the details. Follow the structure, but don't worry about the details. So, and when I say that, I'm like visualizing a path that is laid out, like something, pathways laid out on a specific grid, right? But then I'm like, no matter what you're doing along the pathway, as long as you're following the pathway, you're still going to get things done. And I'm sitting here questioning that, like, what do you mean? Like, there's so many factors, there's so much information. Like, what are you talking about? You can't just say that so simply and then just so then my logic brain is trying to figure out, are you saying that at specific times I need to be in specific rooms, and whatever I can do in those rooms in that time is gonna have to do? And they're like, no, that's not quite what I'm saying. So what are you saying? Oh, all right. Map out a pathway for the day and keep looking at the map and memorizing the map and telling yourself that you're following the map in the background of the other things, and see which parts naturally fall into place and which parts need more fine tuning. And then we can look at what the blockages are and why. So basically, I need to, but it needs to be like physically, like it needs to be like drawn out like an actual path. for my brain. So I already know that writing time slots and stuff, it doesn't work for me. It's not a thing. But if I so if I tell myself that the journey looks like this and looks like this, and then by the time I get to here, I will have already completed all these tasks. So then if I look at the time and it's like midday, and in my head I should be up to this point on the journey. I should be up to this point because that is the 12 o'clock point. What are all the things that I was meant to accomplish before then? And then I'll be like, how many of those can I take off right now? You know? So it's like the journey of all the things that need to be done that day. And the journey needs to, all the things in the journey need to be ticked off. But I really do need the flexibility to not try and do things at a specific time, because if I miss that time, then everything goes out the window. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to go out the window. Stop throwing things out the window. Anyway, so emotional awareness. Apparently in this I'm going to be talking about communicating with different aspects of self, which I thought was meant to be like a completely different thing. Everything's connected. So I feel like this, like, the whole thing that I want to teach is going to be like a whole thing, but it's also going to be so many different things, so many different topics, but then also it's all connected and it's the same, but it's also not. And different people would see it through different lenses. Oh my god. I can see from so many different perspectives. So I can deliver my teaching from so many different perspectives. So I can wrap the same teachings up in so many differently marketed groups, courses. And I can infuse it with different vibrations. So the people that are on lower vibrations, that are only ready to learn specific things, they can learn from aspects that I grab from lower dimensions, lower vibrations, and I can write the content which is laced with like divine wisdom and love and truth, right? But from that limited perspective, so that other people at that limited perspective can resonate with that, unlock it, learn the actual truth and golden stuff, and then it will move them up a tier. Specific things I don't want people learning until they learn the basics. So the first thing that they would have to do is the emotional awareness course. The emotional awareness, and then self-awareness, and then separately there is a, this is not what I wanted this video to be. Damn it. Anyway, And then energetic awareness. Yeah, obviously, I think I already said that. And then, um, and then, well, then there would be stuff about, oh, okay. Oh, how do I map all of this out right now? On paper? That was a literal question. And a literal answer. Yes, no one. I got 2 pins right here. I came prepared. They were here before I was. Click. Alright. So. It's like a whole timeline. I don't even know what order I'm going to be writing all of these in. Because some of the topics that I'm being told to teach right now, I don't know anything about those things yet. So then, of course, the next step would be for me to delve into those topics, but only in the areas that resonate most with my soul. Because if I'm forcing myself to try and learn something because I think that's what I'm supposed to learn, it's not going to fucking work. But if I take on board information that resonates with my fucking soul, that is the trail to follow. For me specifically, you follow your own resonant trail. So, emotional awareness. And then next is the energetic. Emotional awareness, and then aspects of self. Sorry. And then I'm gonna have to learn about archetypes. I only learned that word last year. And I know that it's like super important for the channeling. Oh, interesting. I meant to say for tarot in general, but I was about to say for the channeling course. My channeling course. We're going to be working with archetypes in the channeling course. I need to write that down. Oh, separate piece of paper. I don't know where to even put all my papers, and then I lose them all. I've got so many books that are for many things, and then I don't know what's going on. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Okay, hold on a minute. Archetypes in channeling. Okay, I feel like archetypes would be very important for not only the aspects of self, but obviously for communicating with deities and stuff, for embodying specific energies within yourself. I need to learn so much. Okay. Fuck. Nah, I was writing something. Sorry. Emotional awareness, aspects of self, energetic awareness. I feel like that's like a whole thing, because then there's okay. Okay, no, this is progress. That we're doing the thing we're supposed to be doing. That's good. Relationship with self and then relationship with others. So that's a whole thing. Okay, so first we've got emotional awareness that I'll be teaching about, right? Oh, right, and your relationships with your emotions, right? So first you have to acknowledge that the emotions are a separate entity. They're just an energetic being that is set to a specific frequency of experiences, right? It runs through you so that you can feel that energy, and you can, I guess, figure out your relationship between the way you see the world and the way you see yourself and this emotion, why you felt it, right? So first you have to be aware of emotions and your relationship with them. So not seeing them as something that's attacking you, not seeing them as something that's controlling you, seeing them as something that is it's just an energy that's sharing itself with you so that you may understand yourself, right? And then it'll all be about understanding the aspects of self, right? So then you can figure out the relationship between your emotions and the different aspects of self and how you feel about your different aspects of self, which will then help you realize that you are the observer of all aspects of self. You're not any one of those selves individually, you are an observer of all of those selves, right? So it's all about getting to know emotions and your relationship with them, getting to know yourself, your different aspects of self, and then getting to know your relationship with yourself, your different aspects of self, and their relationship with emotions. And then it's about learning how to relate to others or not take things that others say personally or whatever, all of that kind of stuff. So all of that is very in depth actually. So just emotional awareness and relationships with self and others, all of that needs to be covered before we'll start talking about energetic awareness in a deeper way. Because obviously we would have to start talking about energy, like the awareness of energies and shifting of energies and what that is or whatever, when we're looking at emotions and stuff. But energetic awareness would be kind of looking more into, well, now that I've written a whole list of stuff underneath this point, does that mean I can go into this one now and I can write more things about that? So like I still have to channel the content for the courses that I'm writing, right? I still have to do that. And that's the thing, if I'm channeling it, then all I have to do is sit down and write. Which means I shouldn't have any excuse. I don't have any fucking external world distractions. I don't have anything. And all I keep doing is watching things and playing games. I don't even watch that much or play that much. I just keep seeking reassurance that I'm on the right path and that everything's gonna be okay. Then again, I'm not really like seeking it, but it's there, and I seek like clarity and guidance, and that is the stuff that is coming forward. So, well, also stuff about love and someone in particular, and all this bullshit. I'm kind of tired of hearing about it. If I'm not seeing any action, I didn't mean like action, but that too. Like, if I'm not seeing any, bruh, I don't want to hear about it. Alright. Energetic awareness. Alright, so anyway. Right, and then I was gonna go into all of the other things and further down the thingy, and then it would not let me do that until I filled in the subcategories, apparently. Alright, so with the energetic awareness, alright, so we'll be talking about apparently density, and light. See, I wanted, at first I was like, should I write density versus light? And then I'm like, no, that is the trap of the fucking Matrix. That is the trap. It is not light versus dark. It never has been. They cannot exist without each other. What do you mean? Remember when I said that the fabric of reality is glistening darkness? I did not use those words, but I like those words. Those are some pretty words. But anyway, I said that it's like darkness with like sparkles in it or some shit. I don't know. And the sparkles is the light distributed through the darkness. It doesn't, in order for the light to be within the darkness without the darkness losing itself completely, then the light splits itself up into all of these little fragments to go all the way through the darkness, right? And the darkness and the light, they work as one, right? And the light, the sparkles within the fabric of reality, within that darkness, those are the bits that kind of allow the darkness to move, right? So they have the signals that allows the darkness to move. So the darkness, it holds things structurally, right? But when the light says move, the darkness moves, right? The darkness was also always meant to do the light's bidding, and also hold the light. But the light, that doesn't mean that the light is superior to the darkness. It just means that they are one. They communicate together and they move together to bring things into reality. So density plus light, and it's never darkness versus light, because there's always two differing viewpoints in my mind right now. I was going to say there's always a light at the center of people acting out and wanting destruction. There's always a part of them that is shining inside, begging to be seen for the value that they hold. Right? Yes. But I already learned from my own journey that the only way to have people appreciate that light that is within you is to look more closely at it yourself, to dive into that and feel what there is to love about it. If you want people to love your light, you have to be your light. And I've always believed that love would win over everything. That love is the most powerful force. Because I keep being told, no, but there are dark entities. There are dark things that are fully dark. And they're not doing things from a then they're all like, if they're in a human, then no. Holy shit. Okay. If they're in a human who still has their soul and who still knows that they want to be aligned with love and good and stuff, then those people can still be saved. But and then it's just allowing the light within that person to shine so bright that any lower vibrational entities that were clinging to them, they cannot exist in their space anymore. That's what exorcisms are for. Just realized. But like some people, there are actually some instances where souls have left their body and then something else has stepped in and have taken over. And those things, they probably do bad things without any, I don't know. Okay, so I feel like I need to have a conversation with some of these like super dark entities and just figure out what the fuck is going on, and I'll find out what their original plan was, and then I'll try and figure out if we can like come up with a better plan that will still benefit them but also benefit everyone else. And then collectively benefit everyone. Right? I feel like I need to do that. Definitely need to learn more about self protections before I go and do that. um, okay. I have not made enough progress. You know what? I think I'm just gonna upload this, even though this wasn't for people to watch. um, no, that means I have to wait for it to upload before I can, like, do more of this. No, just talk to yourself without the video. I don't know. I should probably make a smoothie and drink something. Do I need a break? Or am I just saying that to distract myself? Ah!